Welcome back, everybody. This is Dave the Gamer. Today I wanted to do a guide on the best in slot for Phase 5 on Warlocks. Obviously these items are the best possible items to get, so it's going to take a while to get your hands on all of them. So what I like to do is, in the meantime, I want to give you some alternatives for each little slot, so you can kind of build up to all of these items. We're going to start it off with the top, the Doomcaller headpiece. This is going to be a class quest item, and the Warlock actually has 3 of their pieces of gear that are class quest items that are going to drop. So idols are going to be very important to them. So the Doomcaller Circlet, just to give you an idea, I have pulled up here. You're going to be rolling on this class item from warriors, priests, and mages. Now this one only drops off the Emperor, so it is, it's going to have a lot less chance to get it. And if you do, you're going to be looking for 2 of the idols of death, 5 silver scarabs, and 5 bone scarabs, and have friendly with them to be able to get this quest and complete it. This headpiece is excellent. You're getting a ton of, well, not a ton, but you're getting 1% crit. You're getting hit out of it, which Warlocks obviously need, and a bunch of other base stats. Now, in the meantime, you could be using the tier 2 Helm off Oni, which would be a great Helm while waiting to be able to complete this quest. With all headpieces, you're going to add the ZG enchant, which is going to give you 10 stamina, 18 spell power. Still a little salty that the mages get the 1% hit on that, but hey, it is what it is. And with all of this gear, we're going to be coming to 14% hit on Warlock. So we're damn near maxed out on hit cap. We're 2% away. So it's for the first time, Warlocks, you're going to see them really peaking the DPS meters now that they have all the hit that they need. Moving on to the neck piece. This one also drops off the Emperor. So the Emperor drops a lot of great pieces that Warlocks are going to need. And this one obviously is an excellent one with the 1% crit. Alternative to this neck piece, you could get the 1% hit necklace out of ZG or the choker of Firelord. Either one would be very great neck piece while waiting on this one. Another class quest item, the Doomcaller mantle. Now this is going to be excellent overall, as you see with the magical resistance. You get the hit, you get a little bit of everything. Now as far as alternatives, you could go with, I would say the tier 2 of the Warlocks, or you can go with the Mantle of Cabal for the 34 spell power. Obviously these ones are going to be a lot better overall. So you definitely want to be able to get your hands on these. And to be able to make these ones, you're going to be having to get the bindings, the bindings of dominance. With these, though, you have to keep in mind you're going to be battling against shamans, mages, druids, and paladins, depending on what faction you're on. And you're going to need 2 idols of sages, 5 bronze scarabs, and 5 bone scarabs. These shoulders are very, very, very good shoulders overall. So it's something you want to get your hands on. And with these, you're going to be enchanting them with the plus 18 ZG enchant. Moving on to the Cloak. Cloak of Devoured. 1% hit, 30 spell power. And you're going to put the 2% reduced threat on as an enchant, which is awesome that we're finally getting the enchant for reduced threat. Now, alternative to this, ZG has the Cloak of Consumption. It's only 23 spell power, and this one isn't that big of an upgrade. 7 spell power, not bad. But this is something like I wouldn't prioritize. I wouldn't put this on my top 3 list of things I really want. Just for that reason, because the alternative's easy to get in ZG, which you definitely should. Now with Warlocks, you should still be using the Bloodline set, and it's hard to beat. I mean, you get between the chest, the legs, and the boots, you're going to be getting 4% total hit, and you should have tailoring to get that extra 2% crit. With the enchant on the chest, you want to go with the plus 4 to all stats. With the legs, you're going to want the plus 10 stamina, 18 enchant from ZG. And for the boots, You're going to go with the slight movement speed. Of course, with all boots, I always go with the movement speed. For your bracers, Rock Fury bracers, this is going to be from a quest in Silithus where you have to be exalted. So I highly recommend checking out one of my other videos where I show you how to gain rep and also make about 70-80 gold an hour farming those Twilight mobs in Silithus. These bracers are excellent, and there's no reason I don't even want to give you a secondary option because that's the only one. It's a quest, not that hard to get. So just go start grinding that rep now so you're ready to start that quest as soon as you're able to. Moving on to the gloves, the Darkstorm gauntlets. Now mages are also going to be hunting for these. Mages also, just to give you an idea, will be hunting for the neck and back piece. Really, the neck and the gloves are the ones you're really battling with, along with the waist. But the gloves, these is where you could also go with the tier 2 gloves. So you could go tier 2 gloves, shoulder, helm for your 3-piece while you're waiting to get these. These ones are excellent though because the 1% hit is pretty massive. So I would put these higher up on my priority list. Like I said, especially because the 1% hit. And with these, you're actually, for the first time, we're going to be able to get the plus 20 shadow damage enchant to the gloves, which is going to be excellent. So every single Warlock is going to get this. And I mean, that should tell you now that Essence of Undeath, you will see a slight spike in them along with the large brilliant shards, as every single Warlock and Shadow Priest on the server will get these enchants. So it's not a bad idea to get your hands on them now. Now moving on to the belt. The belt is a massive belt. 1% crit, 41 spell power. This is best in slot for all mages, even through Nax. I did not check if it is for, yeah, look at this. Even in phase 6, it's still best in slot for us. So that would be a very high priority. I always try to prioritize things that I know are going to be sticking around for multiple phases, and this being one of them. Alternative to this, you can get a couple different belts in MC that have high spell power, but really this is the main, one of the main items you want to be really focusing on. Like I already said, with the pants for the Bloodline, you're going to be putting the ZG enchant. Now for your rings, this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. Mages will be battling on rings with you for the Ring of the Fallen Gods. 1% hit on here. Now this, as alternatives to these rings, you're going to be looking at the Band of Force Concentration, which, if you haven't had any luck getting the quest item ring here, the Unspoken Names, in the Unspoken Names, you don't have to battle on as many people to be able to get this ring. There's not many other classes. I think you go against rogues and priests for the quest item, and from what I've researched, they don't need it. So pretty much if this drops, you're going to be able to get your hands on it. And there's 6 different bosses that drop the quest item for the ring. And all you have to be is honored with the Silithus rep. And it requires 2 Jasper idols to be able to get your hands on it. But as you see with this ring, 1% crit, 1% hit, good spell power. I mean, this is like a Band of Force Concentration on roids. If you for whatever reason keep striking out on this one, or you're striking out on this one, I would get the Band of Force Concentration. Or from BWL, you can get the 33 spell power ring that drops off trash as alternatives for these. For trinket, as always, Nephilim's tier is amazing. So this, for mages, pretty much all caster classes, this is going to be best in slot the whole way through phase 6. So you definitely want to be able to get your hands on this. This is something you really should be focusing on now before phase 5 actually gets out. I would spend all my DKP. I would beg the Loot Council gods, do whatever you got to do, get your hands on this. And then the talisman from MC is still a great trinket to be able to use. Now, as alternatives for this, I would be using, if you're just starting to get into raiding, I'd be looking at the Briar Reed or the ZG trinket, where you turn in the heart to be able to get it's basically a shittier talisman, but the talisman's definitely a lot better. Now, coming from Phase 5, AQ has some massive weapons. Now, if you haven't had the luck to get the Staff of Shadow Flame, this is what I would be focusing on. The weapon, I mean, as you see, it's 14 less spell power, or 12 less spell power, 1% less crit than the Staff of Shadow Flame, but the offhand combined makes it way better overall. This is a massive item, so I would really be focusing on, personally, like I said, if I didn't get the Staff of Shadow Flame, I would be looking to get the main hand and then the offhand of the Royal Scepter. The offhand, I mean, you're getting the 1% hit out of it, you're getting the crit. This is, I think, more important than the Staff of Shadow Flame. Now, with the wand, you can get the plus 19 spell power, which is excellent, and the 5 stamina, and it has high damage per second. Alternative to the wand, you're going to be looking at the ZG wand that I think it's plus 18, though it doesn't have stamina and lower damage per second. I wouldn't put this high up on my priority list because there's an alternative that's very close. With my guild being Loot Council, they have a spreadsheet with all of the different items, and I have to basically rank what is the most important items to me and what items I'm really going for. Now, if say I had a Mage Blade already, my main 3 items that I would rank on that list would be the offhand, because I want that hit. I'd put the gloves on there, same deal, because I want that hit. And I would put the belt. Knowing the belt is good the whole way through Phase 6, that's massive. Those are the 3 items I would put on my list, along with, my 4th item being my main hand. I would definitely want this one, but if I already have a Mage Blade, I feel that you get a little bit more use out of the offhand, the gloves, and really I'm just going the belt because I know it carries forward. You could sacrifice the belt and go with the main hand instead. That would be a great option also. Now, if you do have the Staff of Shadow Flame and you don't have to worry about these 2 items eating up your priority list, that's where I would be going. Gloves for sure. I'd probably go ring and belt. So those are the main ones I would be my top 3 items that I'd be gunning for. Now, if you find that other, like some of the class items you're really struggling to get, the helm piece is very, very important. So for whatever reason, if other classes are battling for that same class item, I would probably put the helm above the ring because it is so crucial. But I don't think you're going to have much competition on the quest items with the helm, the shoulder, and the other ring. So depends on how your guild looks at it, but these are all the items that I think that, coming into Phase 5 that are going to be the most important for you to get. Now that you have the best items to possibly get ready for Phase 5, I can't wait for AQ to release. I want you to, redirect your attention to the top right corner here. This guide here is going to show you the best 3 specs to use as a Warlock. So be sure to check out that video, and as always, guys, game on.